Hey Slayers, it's Tiana, aka the Swag Slayer over at the Poshmark Swag Slayer Closet, coming to you live today with the SwagSlayer Feature Friday IG live show, where we do it live every Friday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, if you guys want to be on the IG live show and get featured by myself, whether you're a reseller, a Poshmark seller, I just said that, huh? Whether you're a reseller, a boutique owner, a business owner, or entrepreneur, don't forget to message me here on Instagram at SwagSlayer Fashion, and I'll be happy to feature you and your business here on the live show. I thought today we'd do it a little different and I'd feature myself, so you guys would get to know the host of the Feature Friday IG live show. Don't forget, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I am happy to answer all your questions. I am going to try to read them here on a smaller device so I don't have to get so close to the screen when you guys have questions. Let me see if I can get it pulled up, work my technology on 2 devices, because y'all know I'm device illiterate, but I'm going to do my best. Again, don't forget, if you want to get in on the IG Live Feature Friday, every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you want to be featured, direct message me here on Instagram at SwagSlayer Fashion. So like I said, we're going to do a little different today, and we're going to talk about me. First of all, my name is Tiana, the host of this show. I have been reselling for 2 years now on Poshmark. Kind of how I came about reselling is I was in a corporate America job, like a lot of us start out. It was a good job. I liked it. It was not going in the direction I wanted it to go, so I was actually going to leave that position. But before I got a chance to tell them, hey, guess what? I don't want to work here anymore, they were like, hey, guess what? We don't need you anymore. And I was like, oh, okay. So at the moment when they said they didn't need me, it was like a shock because I wasn't expecting it. Even though I knew I was going to put in my 2 weeks the following Monday. So they let me go on a Friday. Even though I planned to put in my 2 weeks the following Monday. I already knew that's where I wanted to go. So I was like, okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I was out. But for that moment, I was like, what am I going to do for the next 2 weeks? I didn't have any plans. I had planned to work and get another paycheck, right? Because I was salaried. I was like, okay, I know what my money's going to look like. So I remember my friend Elisa, she told me about Poshmark a couple of years before, but it wasn't anything I was like, well, I guess I could get rid of some stuff, but it's nothing I want to do. I was just donating because I worked. So I messaged her and was like, hey, what's that thing you told me about I could sell online? And she told me, remind me again about Poshmark. And so I started cleaning out my closet. That's how I started, cleaning out my closet and selling stuff on Poshmark. The original goal, when I first was like, I could do Poshmark, was to pay off some debts. But because I didn't have that job for the 2-week period, I was like, well, I need this money to pay for other stuff. So if you check out my YouTube channel over at SwagSlayer Fashion, you'll see that it starts off with me trying to do a debt payoff challenge, not realizing the velocity for reselling wasn't, I guess, as fast as I was expecting, because that interest, let me tell you this, the reselling game isn't as fast as that credit card interest rate. So I realized very quickly that interest rate was eating me alive. So I was like, okay, I gotta rethink this. So I'm still in the process of paying off my debts. Like Nikki that I talked to last Friday, if you guys were here, that I featured, she had a plan to pay off all her debts. And that's kind of how I started out too, until I realized I can't not go to a full-time job and only resell. If I had a full-time job and resold, that debt would have been knocked out a long time ago. But I ended up loving reselling so much that I just decided I was not going to return to a corporate American job. As I stated previously on last week's show, I did sell insurance for, I guess, 3 to 5 years. Always lose count. I think it's like 7 years, actually. I don't know. I'm not up with the count. But I did do insurance, but that was seasonal, which I enjoyed because then I could hone my skills on the resale game. So when I left that, I still did my side hustle of insurance on the side and then resold. So I chose Poshmark because it was the easiest platform I could figure out. I had a friend, Sarita, who tried to show me how to use eBay previously, and I just couldn't get it. Like, you guys already know me and technology aren't the best to begin with. And then when there were all these options on eBay, I was like, oh no, like I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to sell on eBay. So I made an account a trillion years ago, and I hadn't recently sold anything on there until right at the beginning of the quarantine. I sold 2 things. One thing I made a profit. The second thing I lost money. So overall, I broke even, and I just said, no, I'm going to stick to Poshmark. So I'm still doing my thing on Poshmark. Again, if you're just coming in, it is the SwagSlayer Feature Friday IG live show. And tonight, I'm featuring myself, so you guys can get to know the host of the Feature Friday live show. If you want to be on the Feature Friday live show, whether you're a reseller on any platform, boutique owner, business person, entrepreneur, message me at SwagSlayer Fashion and hit me, and we can coordinate and get together and get you featured. I'm happy to feature you and your business here on the IG live show. So back to what I was saying. So not being able to figure out eBay, Poshmark was very simple. Take the picture, post the price, put the description, and let it go. Share it as you have time, and then get the item sold. Ship it out within 3 days. I think back then it was like 7 days. I think currently now it's 4 days. You need to get it shipped out. They send you a reminder. And then after the buyer gets it and they have it 3 days, they can approve it and you're good to go. So for me, that was very simple, and I liked it like that. So as time has progressed, this is my 2nd year, actually going into my 3rd year now, because it'll be August tomorrow. I try to stick to the goal of listing 15 items a day. That's kind of my goal for every day to keep me productive, because I know sometimes when we resell, if we don't do anything else, like if we don't have an outside job, we can get distracted very easily being at home, of course. So I try to get up in the morning, list my 15 first, then pack all my orders, check, my email, all that other things, then my social media, post to Instagram, all that fun stuff, and try to get it going. If you guys have any questions or any tips, put them down in the comments. I have my other device here so that I can take a look at that and read them, so I don't have to get too close to the screen. Also, if you want to talk about anything I'm talking about tonight, don't hesitate to send me an invite request here during the live show. I'll be happy to tune you in, and we can chit chat a little bit here on the IG live show if you like. Don't be shy. Even if it's your first time, it's cool. We got this. So, my first year selling on Poshmark, I was just cleaning out most of my closet. I had not learned what retail arbitrage was really. I mean, I heard about it, and I did try it here or there toward the end of the year. I did, my Poshmark account stated that I got just under $7,000 the first year. And that was just cleaning out stuff from my own home. Like I said, I did try retail arbitrage here or there where I bought some things and then resold it, but that was like 5%, not even 5% of the stuff I sold. So I thought, okay, for the first year, because like I said, I was still having to go to work. It wasn't my regular 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, but I still went to work in insurance, which of course is commission sales, so that made up my salary for everything else. But to make $7,000 off of just things that were sitting in my closet that I wasn't using, I thought, oh, maybe I should take this more seriously. Maybe I can make this full time. And I think for a lot of us, that's kind of where it comes from, where we think, okay, we cleaned out our house, our closet from our spouse, our children, our friends, our family, and then we see the money that comes in for the things that we didn't pay anything for. Is there a way we can make this full time? So I decided the 2nd year, let me see how far I can go and get it up and running, see what things I could do. Can I try retail arbitrage some more and get it going, which I was able to do a little bit here and there. Of course, things that you didn't pay anything for have the most profit, but you run out of those quickly. So you learn to, keep your profits as high as possible with being reasonable price, which whatever the comps are that are already on Poshmark, but then of course keeping your costs as low as possible at the same time. So I really like to sell shoes and photograph shoes. They're so easy. However, the cost to purchase the shoe and then minus the fees and the profit that comes isn't, the profit margin is smaller than if I sold, for instance, clothes. But again, clothes takes more time, because if you have 100 individual items, you have to photograph each item. You have to make sure, you check for damage and everything. You have to purchase each item. Shoes, typically, if you go in the store, there's 10, 12 pair, and you can just buy them all and bring them. But there are some resellers that I watch just because I enjoy what they do. For example, the Hustle Bee or Reezy Resells. And then there was someone else, I can't think of the name of them, that sells shoes. And I'm fascinated how they're able to put up that amount of capital first and then get the shoes and then be able to turn them for a profit so easily. But it is true, shoes tend to be a year-round thing when clothes can be seasonal, you know, coats, jackets, shorts, bathing suits. Like right now, bathing suits still sitting in my closet that I'm like, hey, these are on sale, you want to come and get them? So I price dropped and all that fun stuff, because I know anything I don't sell between now and the end of August, I get to keep until next summer. So after I realized that was something I could do full time, I've kind of moved now, which is like the start of my 3rd year, into staying home, especially given the, you know, the life situation that's happening around the world. I was like, okay, I definitely can't go back to work, which I was thinking of working from home at my house. They would send me the computer and all that fun stuff from pretty much August until January. But because my child is not returning to school, trying to maneuver schoolwork through all of that when the program is new, because any of you had distance learning going on that last semester of school, you know, everything was not where it was supposed to be, because we're all thrown into it. Now, the school was thrown into it, the teachers were thrown into it, the parents were thrown into it, so we're all trying to play it by ear. So now, knowing what we do know now, and in my state, they changed the program that they're going to use. I just said, okay, I'm not going to work this time. This will be my first year, hopefully the whole 12 months, that I will not work at another job. I will just be doing Poshmark and living off the money that comes off Poshmark. If you watch me on Instagram, or you follow me, I guess, on Instagram, and you've seen any of my posts, it's been going well, so fingers crossed it will continue to go well. I try to post on the 1st of every month the progress, like what, you know, I was able to pay with the income that I have, that I received from Poshmark, you know, the profits. I know sometimes people will post like the gross numbers, and I don't post numbers. I mean, if you follow me, I just post what I was able to pay for, what I was able to trade that money to get a good or a service that helps build my business, because my goal is really to turn I shouldn't say all, because my goal is to turn every dollar that I can back into the business so I can continue to grow it. Because of course I can't put all of them into the business, because the bill collector still wants their money. And even though they don't have to collect my bills but once a month, I don't ever want them to get behind. With that being said, I love reselling on Poshmark. I don't cross list. I know some people do cross list. That's the thing. Other people who are probably more tech savvy, who can pay more attention, have a longer attention span than I do, could cross list. I don't cross list because it becomes stressful for me to remember, okay, wait, you have something posted here, you have something posted there, you have something posted at the next place, and then when it sells on one, to remember to delist it off all the rest. That stresses me out beyond just talking about it right now. I feel stressed out. So no, I don't cross list. I know there's some awesome cross listing platforms out there that people do use the cross list that will also delist for them. I have thought about possibly just having a section of items that I will list on one platform, and then another section of items that I'll list on another platform. However, someone pointed out to me that might be counterproductive, because the whole point of cross listing is to get the item sold faster. For me, again, the stress level is just not worth it for me. I think if I sold one item on one platform and another item on a different platform, that would keep my stress level down, and then possibly still get it sold. And if it's not working, you know, try something new. I think that is the awesome thing about being an entrepreneur, being your own boss, especially being a reseller. You can try something out, and if it's not working for you, then you can try something different. Of course, I watch Daily Refinement, and his thing is always like 1%, be 1% better, improve something by 1%, just 1%, because when you do that 1%, if it's working, then you can go further. If it's not working, then you can pull back. You haven't gone too far off the reserve, and you can say, oh, that's not working, let's pull back. Because of course here, when we are trying to make the money here in the resale life, we need that money generally turning over as fast as possible, because at the end of the day, we are the asset when we're the reseller. It's us and our ability to pick out fashions at a good price, and be able to pass that savings on to the next person. For any of you guys coming in right now, I'm looking down at my tablet because I have my other device so I can see what you guys are writing. If you would like to be featured on the SwagSlayer Feature Friday on any Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hit me up in the DMs. Also, if you have any questions and you want to ask, you can go ahead and put them in the comment section below, and I'm going to read them here and I'll be able to read them out. Also, if you're very brave, go ahead and send me an invite request and we can chit chat here tonight about the resale life, possibly get to know you, what you do. You can talk with the Slayers over here on our end in the Slayer land. So don't be shy, hit the request. I'll happily invite you in, whether you're a reseller, a boutique owner, entrepreneur, any of that. I'm happy to feature all those people and talk with all of them because we can always learn something from one another. Another thing that I was going to say, I took notes. Let me see. So with the reselling going on, I do also want to open my own website. So I have that in the productions, but again, me and tech. So it will be swagslayer.com. So it's just the Swagslayer, SwagSlayer.com. You can go there and put in your email, and then you will be signed up for the newsletter that and then the, what's it called? Oh, the drop. So like as soon as the website goes live, it'll email you and let you know that the website is up and running and alive. So you can do that there as well. I'm hoping to be able to supply not only information, but goods and services for resellers, because I know sometimes when you're searching around trying to find, okay, what's the best for this or what's the best for that. For example, if you watched the SwagSlayer Feature Friday last Friday, I was saying that I was doing, or the Friday before, I think, I was saying I was doing my live shows inside my photo booth. You can't see it now because it's the same, you know, rectangle. But I've hence taken that photo booth down because when I became a new reseller, people were like, oh my gosh, the photo booth, photo booth, photo booth. And I was like, I have to have this photo booth. And the photo booth was brilliant. And let me just be honest, my photo booth was like a makeshift photo booth. Not in product or quality, but it wasn't like the photo booth that you order in full for like $400 and they send you the lights and everything. My husband, who loves me very much, but is very much with the budget, whatever the budget says goes, he got me a photo booth and it had everything it needed, but it was really a grow house, like for plants. I don't know why anybody, I mean, I could think of some reasons, but you know, that's not the point. It was like a grow house. So when we watched the video, he was like, bang, I should photo booth. But when I was looking at the video, they were showing you how you can like let steam into the room and water into the room to grow plants. And I was like, babe, this is not a photo booth. But then when he put it all together, it literally did everything the photo booth that I wanted for $400 did, except for it didn't cost me $400. All of that to say, the point is, sometimes as resellers, especially new in the game, we are looking for things to make our resale game better. And in my experience, I purchased some things that didn't make my resale game any better. And so on the website at swagslayer.com, I want to write about those things like in a blog type thing and then show examples of things that actually did help my resale life. Because what I realized is the things that really did help my resale life were the least expensive things I bought. The really expensive things that I paid for, they weren't any helpful. They didn't do anything better. They just, I mean, I just spent my money on them and it was nice to say, oh, I have XYZ. But it didn't make my resale game any better. So I've taken down the photo booth and I'm actually just photographing on the wall, because the issue I have with my photo booth, even though I loved it, trying to photograph long dresses was a challenge, because if you go to my page now, you'll see, you could see the sides of the photo booth. So like the dress is here, but then the rails for the photo booth would be on the outside. And I was like, stop. So we've taken it down and I'm just going to use the wall behind me, because then I don't have all of that stuff in the way. And to be honest, if I would have stuck with that, I would have, granted, I didn't spend the $400 even though I really wanted to, but I would have been able to keep some more money in my pocket to source with, or, you know, reinvest into my company to continue in my resale life. So over at the website, it'll have things like that, tools that you can use, examples, stories, and then simple things that are either free or very inexpensive that'll help out any reseller, whether you're a seasoned reseller or you're new in the game. So those are little things about myself. Of course, I'll be here every Friday. If you check me out on YouTube, you will see a replay as long as my technology works, because sometimes when I try to save this live show to then upload it to YouTube so you can rewatch it on YouTube or Instagram, it doesn't always work. But again, that's probably just me. I need to do a little more research on how to use my social media. But another thing that I do over there is I will be doing small haul videos over there as well, and then just any tips, you know, because sometimes we don't have time to read, we're busy doing other stuff, we need to hear it. So I'll be doing more tips over there on the YouTube channel at SwagSlayer Fashion as well. So I'm trying to think, let me check my notes, make sure I pointed everything out, because again, I know you guys are just getting to know me today, the host of the show. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. I just really want to use my platform to promote other small businesses, other resellers, and you don't have to be a business to be promoted. I just want to make sure your voice is heard, that people can see you, hear from you, know where to find you, know where to find your product, and know where to find your stuff, and just to build a community inside the community that already exists. Sometimes the community is so big, you don't know who to connect with, to ask questions, reach out to someone. But I want to kind of cultivate that space where we can connect and say, hey, I know Tiana does this, or Nikki does that, or Raquel does that, or Midge does this. I can reach out to them on Instagram and ask a question. Like, if you guys were on here last week, I bought vintage earrings. I don't do vintage. I do more street style. But they were so cute. I was just like, I have to have them. 2 pair, like, I'm keeping for myself. And I couldn't figure out the brand. So I posted them. And then I tagged a person that I watch on YouTube and follow on Instagram that I know does vintage. She didn't have the answer, but she tagged someone else she knew. And they tried to help me out. So here on Instagram, YouTube, we're all just one big community. But sometimes we need to be a closer community where we feel comfortable, where we're not just reaching out maybe possibly to a stranger, but we've gotten to know them over time through our IG messages, and here on the SwagSlayer Feature Friday IG live show. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in this evening with me, getting to know myself, Tiana, and tune in next week for the SwagSlayer Feature Friday IG live show at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Friday, where I will be featuring Deanna.online. So you can find her on Instagram. It's at Deanna.online. She'll be on the live show, and we'll be talking all about her entrepreneurial journey and her resale life. So I will talk to you later, Slayers. Bye.